Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection. Bring you three neat perspectives of varying skill range. I am the one with the heart of the cards, Andrew. With me, the one with the fart of the cards, Keith.
Hello.
And with us, our wild card, our returning guest from Gaming Together podcast, Nave.
Wild is actually a great description of whenever you guys have me on.
But this week we played Inscryption by Daniel Mullen Games, which I checked this guy out. He's just created like 4 other games, and his other games are kind of small, but this one is awesome. But Inscryption is a roguelike deck builder game where you are playing a person who finds this weird hidden computer game, and you are kind of going through the story. We're going to try to avoid spoilers because this is a game you really need to experience. And so giving too much of the story is a little bit hard. I'll try to be vague, but yeah, the story is incredibly interesting. But going around, I'll start with this one. Inscryption, this is a must play. This game is awesome. So me and Keith originally did this as a Patreon episode. I bought this game because I heard so many good things about it. So I was like, I saw it hit Xbox. And I was like, I got to do this. And so I was telling Keith about it. I was like, it's a roguelike. You should actually buy this game. You're going to love it. And Keith eventually did buy it. We never did talk about that. But yeah, this is.
I think I've talked about that.
Oh, did we? No, but either way, this is a definite game. You need to check out Inscryption. This game is so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll just kind of do a shorter version of Andrew. Andrew had told me about the game, and that was, I think, probably the first time I'd ever heard about it. And then I just had more and more people start saying it. I think, Nave, you were one of them. I heard you talking about it, like the killer run that made you want to cry. And it's like, I was like, all right, I think I'm finally sold. So as Andrew said, I bought it. I think I beat it in, I don't know, a weekend, which is pretty reasonable. It's not like I flew through it by any means, but I don't, even games that's like of this size, I don't always just sit down and be like, I'm just going to play this straight through, because I just wanted to keep playing it. So yeah, definite game.
I think I'd probably also say this is like a must play. This is a game every year when we do our game awards. I'm always trying to sneak it in, even though I've already beaten it like 15 times. Whenever I first heard about it as well, I had one friend who just knows me very well and was like, hey, don't look up anything about this game. It just released on Xbox. Go buy it. Don't look at it. Don't know anything, which is also my favorite way to jump into games. And it's games like this that are the reason why I go on complete media blackout when I see something that even vaguely interests me.
Yeah, I highly recommend that as well, because that's what when I was doing this episode with Keith, I was like trying to explain to him a little bit of how the gameplay works in the story, but I'm trying not to tell you too much because you need to experience this. So it's tough. We're gonna try to navigate this a little bit too,
because you really don't want to tip people off. Like, we've already said too much. So if you haven't played this game, that's crazy. You clicked on this episode, but if you haven't played this game, you gotta stop now. Please stop now and go play it. It's not terribly long.
No, I mean, I guess I could start off with that. Time to beat, you're looking at 12 and a half hours. For completion, probably about 27 hours. That's if you want to do the post game stuff, because there is a mod, like a kind of an endless run, not an endless run, but a challenge mode. Yeah, I mean, just real quick. So if you are into roguelike deck builders, I would even say, even if you're not that into them, the mechanics of this game are so simple that I would recommend this just for everyone. It's so great. We'll try to get into the story a little bit here. So I figure we're kind of safe at least talking about the beginning because it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
But so the general idea of the gameplay is that, the story, you are playing this computer game that was found on a floppy disk, and you're kind of you're going through a video diary, but you're trying to essentially figure out, here's the best way to describe of the gameplay, because I looked this up on Wikipedia. You will be going through deck building, roguelike, turn-based strategy, escape room, puzzles, and adventure. So you're going through this whole narrative story of different things that are going on, and it's
escape room's a good way to put it, actually. Yeah,
it has a lot of those vibes.
Yeah, so you are starting off in a room with a very dark figure in front of you who is essentially playing like a dungeon master. If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, who is essentially describing things to you. You walk through a dark forest. You have these branching paths you can pick with your game piece, and as you're going along, you do different challenges. Maybe you get new cards, maybe you lose some cards, maybe you combine some cards, but essentially you don't know who you are, and you are just trying to figure out a way to get out of this room. That is the basic beginning of the game, but it gets way more interesting from there. And I gotta say, I loved this game's story. It's very meta. So when I said this to some people, I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of meta. People are like, I hate meta story. It's like, this one's cool. It's very cool.
No, and I think it's because of the escape room feel it has to it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that myself, even I was like that was what I was invested in. Like I was having fun with overall gameplay. It's fairly simple to learn. It's hard to master, I would say, like a lot of these types of games are, but it's very easy to learn the overall gameplay, but it's everything else that's going on that it's a story. I mean, it's a story, but it feels so much more like, I don't know, you're living through it and how they make it feel. And like there's points where, well, this isn't scary by any means. I'm like, it's actually kind of like creepy.
It's very,
and
like
unnerving,
creepy.
I think is the best word I would, because you're just like, it feels uncomfortable. And I'm all about the story, and I don't know, everything it goes into is awesome.
And it's great. It's campy. It's cozy. It's awesome for October. Like this episode is probably coming out like pretty close to Halloween, right? So
yeah.
I mean, I think we already said it was meta because I think we already scared off everyone who was 80% committed to probably playing Inscryption. They probably ran off already. So now we're talking to the 60%ers and down. It's like so the game is going to be very meta if you're into that kind of thing. And I absolutely love the escalation in the game because I had a friend. I made my girlfriend play this as well, so I don't remember if it was a friend or if it was her, but after a few runs of this game and winning, I'm assuming it was my girlfriend. She was like, I'm gonna stop. This is pretty good, but I think I've had my fill. And I'm like, okay, how do I tell her that the game escalates? Then you have to keep playing without doing the whole Nier Automata, like you have to beat the game like multiple times, but it's not actually beating the game. It makes you sound like a crazy person, but Inscryption kind of is about crazy people, and crazy people like it. So
yeah, man, that's crazy that she was like ready to quit. I will say, like, that is the thing. The weird thing about this too is like the very beginning is definitely the hardest part. I feel like once you kind of open Pandora's box in this game, it was way more smooth sailing. But I kind of liked it because once I started figuring out what was going on, I was like, I am invested. I want to know what happens at the end of this. This is awesome.
I think a big thing about this game too is its aesthetic, because I think aesthetic means a whole lot to a lot of people, especially me. And I'm really like putting the 3 games side by side that I've been talking about a lot recently. We just had an episode on Balatro, and then side by side, my girlfriend was playing that and Slay the Spire, which I've been starting to play again as well, just like because I've been watching her. And so having those 2 games in Inscryption right next to each other, I have this insane love, like a feverish love for Inscryption. And I think it's because of its spooky, ominous, cryptid nature, and also like its very meta nature. Even though I don't think I would say it's probably not as good of a card game as the other 2 games, but it's a different kind of card game. Like they're all 3 different card games, but they're similar. They're in the same like Venn diagram.
Yeah, I mean, I guess part of my thing is I don't know how many times I would replay the story. I mean, I guess I could see going back to it every now and then because it really is interesting. I just don't know if I fully had like knew the story, how many times I'd want to go back through it. I found myself going into the challenge modes that it unlocked after the fact.
Oh yeah.
And that's a whole nother conversation, I guess. Because I don't know how you got through near as many as you did. But yeah, that said, I just the overall, like the main storyline, the first time you play this game through, there's something special about it, and it's not so far as like we talk about Tunic a lot, where it's a game of like discovery and you kind of figure things out. That game is like you have to write things down, you have to be taking notes. You don't have to do that in Inscryption. It's still all there in front of you, and it's very manageable. But I don't know, it's about discovery and that same kind of heart, if you will.
Yeah, I remember by the end of this story, I'm the same way too. I don't know if I'm not, like chomping at the bit to replay the story, but I remember when the credits rolled, like I had to sit there for a bit. I was like, what was that? That was nuts. So this story stuck with me by the end. And like very few games kind of do that with me.
I think it's really funny that you brought up Tunic as well, because I literally just swore that I would beat Tunic on that Balacho episode. So, there was some weird synchronicity going on right now. With the guest on our show was talking to us about it, and we were both like, we didn't ever beat it actually, and he just stopped us and held us. And I might have even told him to play Inscryption. I haven't gotten to that part of the edit yet, by the way. I'm procrastinating editing, listener. I'm supposed to be editing my episode right now, but I came to talk about this beautiful game. But I don't know, this indie resurgence of like these beautiful genres that we grew up with, and also this kind of like weird Blair Witch Project like spookiness.
Yeah.
Like I love the indie space. This is it's a great time to be a gamer.
It is. That's what I think is funny. Like I feel like you see so many people like doom and gloom of like studios being shut down. For me, I'm just like, this is just the industry kind of refreshing itself, because all these indie games are coming out that are so good and like are worth your time. It's like you can create fantastic fun games with such a low budget. Here it is. So to me, I'm like, I'm not upset with the gaming industry. Like some of these studios getting closed down. Like it kind of sucks on some of them, but I'm also just like, this is just paving the way for other great games coming in.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about this too, and I'm sure they're not the only game that does this, but they have like the whole like built-in it, what ARG is the term, alternate reality game built into this, where like you can go down rabbit holes outside of Inscryption, and just
I was going to bring that up.
I haven't done any of that, but just like the fact that they have that even built into it, it's like, I mean, one, it tells you something about they know their audience. Is there like this is going to be people who are going to go deep diving weird rabbit holes, but also too, like, I don't know, just how cool is that? I just think that's awesome.
Yeah, if you look up this game's a Wikipedia, it has this whole other segment of like, they have an alternate reality game where people played and they actually were sent physical floppy disks in the mail, and it uncovered more of the story. Like, this is what I mean. This game goes through a real meta thing. Even to, I guess, when you played on the PC, there was some code files in the game that if you dug through, gave you more information on the story. It's insane. Did you guys see up like what what was on those floppy disks? Like, did you guys hear about this?
I didn't dig deep into it. No.
I might have heard it whenever I first played. I don't recall right away.
Yeah, it goes into a whole spy theory kind of stuff. It's pretty wild. But that's what I love. I love that this game, because like I said, at the end of the story, I was satisfied, but there was like, what happened there? And so it's kind of cool where like there's things you can actually dig deep in and find and kind of undercover more of the story. Awesome. Like I love when media does this like super meta stuff. Like even like movies where they like kind of give you hints to go to websites or look things up or scan QR codes, and it just brings you down rabbit holes. That's something to me that's just so interesting.
Bees? Wasn't that the Halo thing?
What one was that one?
I Love Bees was a website. Yeah, it was the alternate reality game for Halo 2. Yeah, so before Halo 2 was announced, I think, like, I don't know how all this started, but Google I Love Bees. I bet there's a really good video documentary about it. Probably on YouTube.
I know the most recent one is Kojima's new game. When he was like doing what was it? It was during, I think, the Xbox showcase. They had like the realistic faces.
Yeah.
And like people noticed that there was like some QR codes on people's tongues where there was like letters.
I mean, Kojima, bless him. I don't understand him, but I'm glad we have him.
Oh, me too. I'm in the same boat. Like some of his stuff doesn't quite hit with me, but it just he's a dreamer, and it's like we need those kind of people.
He is one of the Earth's main characters for sure. Like he's doing all the side quests. He's doing whatever he wants.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I'm looking at this I Love Bees. Players wait at a payphone. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what they're all like. See, I love this meta stuff. I love like this kind of weird marketing. Like back
For the
in the
young
day,
listeners, a payphone was before we had cell phones. We had to go to a physical place where a public, like a porta potty, but it had a phone in it.
it's like,
And people still meet in there too.
people still
Yeah.
meet in there too.
Just like
in a
porta
pinch, in a pinch, it worked.
Yeah, because I remember back in high school, the movie Cloverfield, like they had a whole marketing campaign. I remember back in that day, I ate that stuff up. But yeah, getting into the gameplay of Inscryption. So as we said, it's a roguelike deck builder. This is one thing I really like about this. Like to me, the gameplay, the deck building is very simple. Starting off, you can either draw a card from your deck or draw a squirrel. Squirrels are basically a 0 attack, 1 health. They're meant to be sacrificed because you need to sacrifice a creature to get some of your bigger creatures out. So it's all this kind of give and take. Do I take out some squirrels so I can get some bigger guys out? Do I actually sacrifice a decent monster to get even a bigger monster out? And all you have to do is the health system is a scale. You need to be net 5. So you need to do 5 more damage than you take. So if you can do 3 damage, but if the enemy does 2, it essentially takes 2 points away. So you just have to be positive 5, you win the round. The rounds are super quick. They're usually done within like 5-6 turns. And then in between, you are traveling a game board, very much like Slay the Spire. And that's generally basically it. There's some other creature cards you can get that you summon with bone tokens, which anytime a creature dies, you get a bone token. So it's the more creatures you have died, you can get those creatures out. So, but that's generally basically it. There's little things here and there, like you can get these interesting items like pliers, where you can rip out personally your character's tooth to put on the scale to kind of tip to your favor, or scissors to cut up an enemy card, or a hook to steal an enemy card. Like there's these little items you can get here and there to kind of help you, which you also kind of use in the escape room. But
I really love the not the aesthetic, but like the lore building that the pliers apply, because the pliers is let's be honest, like one of the worst items in the game. But so pulling your own teeth out to put on the scale, whenever you score points, the Leshy, the guy on the other side of the table, he puts teeth on the scale. Like he puts like golden teeth on the scale, and you're pulling your teeth out, and every time you die, I mean it's a roguelike, so you're gonna lose a lot, but like canonically your character dies, and then that implies that the teeth he's using are just a long line of people who he's killed before, dipping them in gold and using them as the play pieces for this game. It's just, man, like it's so good.
I'm with you. That's like, and that's what I loved about this. Like, because when you first start off, it's very creepy, but then like when the game starts going in and around different places, it's such like a whiplash in like such a cool, interesting way. But
and it's that's one of those things too. It's like a lot of things, it doesn't exactly tell you what's going to happen. I think if you look at the details of the wrench, it kind of gives you some sort of description, but I don't think it tells you, hey, you're going to watch a visual of your character ripping their own tooth out of their face. And that wasn't a moment I was prepared for. So the first time I did it, I was like, oh, because I don't do teeth. I can do any other injuries, all the other teeth. Give me the nopes
and the horrible sound and reverb, and then but also, God forbid you're wearing headphones whenever that happens, because
wear headphones,
you feel it.
Absolutely, wear headphones playing this game.
The bass while you're doing it just like cascades through your skull. It's the headphones are great for this experience. Not necessary, not like Hellblade or anything, but definitely gets you immersed in the game, especially when you lose and then you look up, your character looks up and sees Leshy reaching for you from across the table.
Yeah, the dark hands.
Oh man, I hate that guy. I hate him.
Yeah, like it's so good on like you said, just like the lore and the atmosphere they kind of build to this game, because it's creepy, but it's not, because you're playing card game, and like when you first start, you don't quite get the stakes. And so it's like when you're kind of going through the things and you're like, oh no, this is a card game, but like it's very much like No Country for Old Men. Like when he kind of flips the coin, people are kind of like,
Oh
well,
yeah.
what are we betting here? And it's like, kind of what you're betting. Like you kind of know what's going on. So it's constant eerie vibe of like, you're always in danger. Like, yes, you're playing a card game. Because even too, whenever you do like card combinations, like there's times where you are like, you'll meet a guy who's like part of the mushrooms and he attaches 2 cards together. But it like the camera cuts away, but he has a saw and there's like blood and bits of card going everywhere. Like it's very kind of graphic. And it's just like,
Yeah.
this is a card game. Like what's going on here?
Yeah, it's some horror. Well, I guess just a half and half of the card essentially. But I was gonna say it's sort of some horrible mangled looking thing too that it hands back to you. It's
Just terrible.
No, I think we can talk at least about other decks. That doesn't really spoil things.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, well, so here's another hard limit for you guys. The 60%ers have probably left. They're probably like, "Ooh, this sounds good." The game is gonna escalate and it's gonna change. So don't
Yes.
worry, it's not gonna be the same forever, and because that would be a little boring.
well, that's what's so wild about it too. Like, I don't know. Typically, your roguelike deck builders, or really any roguelike at its core, it's just gonna keep feeding you more, whether it's items, whether it's characters. And I guess in a sense, yeah, when you kind of put it down to the decks, like Andrew was saying, I guess that's kind of the simplified idea of it. But it's wild because the gameplay changes. Like everything
Yeah.
just turns on its head, and you're like, wait, what's happening right now? But it's still the
Yeah.
same. But it stays the same at its core. It does it in such a wild way that like, again, trying not to spoil it too much without really knowing what's going to happen. All of a sudden, you're just thrown into it, and you have to rediscover this whole entire game of how it works.
Yeah, there was a particular part that I had to help Rachel with where she is just like, I suck at this mechanic. You have to you build the deck, please.
Was
Help
it
me.
the magic deck?
Yeah,
I hated
it was
that deck.
I just had to be like, okay, this is, and she also hates consulting me. She doesn't even want to play the game when I'm around, especially if it's like Inscryption or like Magic the Gathering Arena or something. Because I'll be like, ooh, I wouldn't have done that, and she'll just like, do you want to play the game? Like instantly, like to a 10, and screams at me. So I'm like, I'm sorry. Continue.
See, it's funny because my wife's the complete opposite, where she's very much just like, "Can you please help me?" And I'm like, "What? Do you just want me to play it?" And she's like, "Yeah, kind of. I just want to watch you." And it's like, "Fine." And I'm trying to egg her on, like, "No, figure it out. Come on, you can do it. You can do it." She's like, "Can you just do it for me?" It's like, fine.
Dude, I understand. I understand it all. It just depends. If it's a platformer, I don't want to do it. But if it's like a card game, I'm like, leave me alone. I can do it. I can figure it out. Hold on. I got this. I know the answer.
Yeah, for her, it's puzzle games. She's very much just like, I don't want to figure out this puzzle. She'll do 5 seconds of it, and then she's like, I can't figure it out. Solve it for me. It's like, come
So no
on.
Inscryption for Liz.
Yeah, or boss fights. Yeah. So anytime we do a Souls like, she's like, I'll play, and she loves fighting all the trash. As soon as she gets to a boss, she's like, here you go. I'm not doing the boss. It's like, come on. But yeah, I was gonna say the Magic deck was my least favorite. The only other deck I really kind of liked was the Robot deck. But the starting deck, the Beast deck, that's usually my favorite.
Yeah, that's the OG's great, and it's mostly what the end games revolved around. So
Yeah.
I really do enjoy the Beast deck, and it's like it's the most intriguing because I think it has to be, because that is the hook for new players. Like that is what's pulling you along, and I think once you get past that first deck, the game is like, okay, we've got them now. Like they're definitely just going to keep playing at this point. So, like,
which I will say, like once you kind of progress to the game, like I said, I thought it was way easier. I think I only failed once, maybe twice. After I kind of beat the first starting area, I didn't, because even too, the puzzles in this game are very good, but I didn't find them difficult. So I was never hung up on a puzzle either.
Yeah, it becomes a little less of a roguelike after you get past the first area. And then, like, I don't know, because I think that's the primary area, because of the what is it? The post game is that part, the roguelike part.
Yeah.
That's probably why Keith was saying the replay value is probably not there for the story specifically, especially because it's a lot longer to go through that story, and it's so wonky with the quality. Like the scales tip so much. Bad pun, but also like you can do a run like 100 runs of Casey's mod and fail usually because it's so
Yeah.
hard. But
Which I figured we could
really glad
talk
you
about
say that.
Casey's mod.
I'm really glad you said that, because did you beat all the challenge levels? Like, you've beaten every single one of them, or
yeah, I did all skulls with the very last skull turned on, and it
jeez.
was really harrowing. And that was probably me and Rachel had probably been dating for only like 2 weeks at that point. So I was really worried that she was gonna like break up with me, like because I was like, this game is so hard, you don't understand, because she hadn't played it yet either. So I'm like, you don't understand. You just lose suddenly. Like, you just don't get it.
That's
Just
like
one thing goes wrong, and that's it.
this is like one thing I love. Like, so it's very hard, but to me, it's also not. Like, this is one thing I love about this. Like, I played a lot of Slay the Spire, but the thing that kind of irritated me with Slay the Spire, there's so many cards, and I always find it very hard to really build your character in a specific way. Like with the warrior, like in Inscryption in Slay the Spire, you can either do like, oh, very heavy attack, or do a strength build. You get cards that go off of strength, or try to build armor. But it was really hard to get like cohesion because there's just so many cards. So I
Yeah.
felt like I was always trying to kind of do something there. Inscryption here, there's not a lot of cards, and there's not a lot going on. At most, the playing field is 4v4. Like, you're not putting a lot of cards down. And so, like, to me, it was so much easier to figure out how I want to build my deck and how I want to go. But yes, it does feel like the computer kind of cheats sometimes. And just all of a sudden, he's just like, here's a super strong guy. Boom, you're dead in a hit. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So,
I think the primary thing is in Slay the Spire especially, you get time to learn how to break the game. That's what roguelikes are all about, is learning how to break the game. And Inscryption in the story mode, it gives you just enough time to learn, oh my goodness, I can put the triple strike on something that has double attack forward, and it's going to do like 4 attacks. It's going to be crazy. Like, you will learn all kinds of crazy combinations. There are a lot of infinites in the original base Inscryption before you go to Casey's mod, and then you go into Casey's mod going, oh, this is one of the amazing meta tricks that it does on you also. When you go into Inscryption in Casey's mod and you try to do an infinite combo, Leshy will be like, oh, I remember you doing that. No. And then he stops it. Like, he stops the infinite. One thing you could do is, if you play a card that makes cards, and then you imprint ability on that card, the cards that it makes will also have that ability. So if you have a card that says, what is the card? Offspring. One of the rats, I think it's not pack rat. One of the rats, they offspring. So when you play the card, you get another card that is the same card. If you put that on the beehive, then the bees that come out will also have offspring.
copies, yeah.
And then you can just play infinite bees forever.
Okay.
And you always, well, that doesn't do much because they only have 1 power, and like, but that's sack fodder. Like, there's a lot of crazy things you can start doing. I don't want to teach people how to break Inscryption before they start playing it, but we're talking to the 30%ers now, so I mean, like, I might as well. It's fun to break it. But when you get to Casey's mod, the game forces you to literally see the binary code that the game is written in.
Yeah.
It, like, you have to like learn every intricate little thing about this game, and every time you think you're going to break it somehow, usually it's not going to let you do that. There are only very specific ways that you're allowed to break the game, and that are very rare to come across also. It's like, oh man, it's giving me so much anxiety, like trying to remember a run that's going so well because I finally got Mercury in retrograde and all the stars aligned, and I'm like, oh my god, this is happening, and then I die randomly to something I couldn't have foreseen. Like, it's like, oh,
well, so
this game is so good.
So because I at some point I think I'd beat like challenge level 1, so I had, I don't know, like 1 or 2 skulls turned on, whatever that would be.
Honestly, I haven't even done that yet. I've been sucking hard.
But that's the other thing. So Casey's mod breaks it down essentially to the first act of the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, because you don't really have to go. It sticks everything in the beast deck. unless it
Yeah.
changes as you go down the road. But like as far as I've seen, yeah, you stick with the beast deck, which I think is fun, but it's like I don't know how you got that far. I think I played like, I don't know, 7-10 runs last night. And I was like, I think I get far. I think I got past the first boss twice.
I had it pulled up. Hold on. Okay, so I had 13 victories, which is how many. That's literally the minimum that it takes to beat everything with all skulls on. And then I had 98 defeats.
Jeez.
So it took me a very, very long time.
I mean, I think mine would be way more than 98, but even still, I was just like, I couldn't even figure it out. Like I couldn't visualize, because it, like, again, I don't want to spoil this for anybody, but like the death cards, for lack of better description, I don't know if we want to go fully into that or not, but like the death cards that you get in the first game or in the main game, aren't there, and like I realized how much I lived on that, and that because that's one of the games that or one of the tactics or mechanics that it hands you in the story mode.
We should talk about that right now, yeah, because that's really, really cool.
Yeah, because that's one of the easiest and quickest ways to like break Inscryption, if you will. But it gives you the option to do it, but through some RNG luck at the same time, because it could completely fail out on you.
Yeah, so in the game, whenever you lose in the normal playthrough, in the story mode, whenever you die, the person lets you make a card of yourself, and then they take 3 cards from your deck randomly, as far as I'm aware. But it's like you get the cost, whatever the cost is of the card, then you get the power and toughness, and then you get any abilities that a card had. So you can make a free card that has like 3 power and 1 toughness, and then make it have double strike from a mantis, and like that super card, and then you can name it whatever you want. You can name it Gabagool.
Yeah.
Or
I was
something.
doing some inappropriate names. I was like, this is great.
Oh yeah.
I was like, here comes boobies.
Boobies Squared, the sequel, the better boobies.
Yeah, nothing better than when you could get the like 0 cost card and then stack it with like a 5/4 and it, like you said, like a double strike. You're like, oh, okay, I just get this card and I win every round, basically.
Did you guys ever learn what ringworms do?
No.
I don't, other than at
Wait,
least
I think I might have once.
I was looking something up last night, and other than for the purposes of feeding it to the villagers, if there's more than that, that was the only thing I could find.
Yeah, the reason why the ringworm is a great card, because you feed it to the people around the campfire.
The campfire. And
every time you feed, I think in the normal game you can do it up to 5 times, maybe 4. But every time you feed it, there's less chance every single time that it'll survive. So if you give it a ringworm and they eat it, the next time you see the campfire, there'll be no one, and then you can just level everyone up for free at 100% chance they survive. So that is like a big strategy in the original game. Once you realize that there's so many cards that are like that, like especially the rare cards, and cherish the rare cards, because there's a skull that eventually is basically mandatory that says you never see rare cards again in Casey's mod, by the way. So you have to beat Casey's mod with all the skulls on, and you can't use any rare cards. So, oh my god, it's so hard. But you can do that in Casey's mod, but you can only do it twice. So the ringworm strategy is so much less reliable, because there is a chance that you go the whole run and never get the ringworm eaten. But then you have a really beefed up ringworm, so it's like, I don't know if this is worse or not. It's definitely worse, but there's many little things like that.
I think there's at least 2 others that when I was looking up, it's the adder and I can't remember, but there was 3, because I know I did it with the adder and it worked, but I think I did it by accident when I was playing the regular game through, and then it was only last night when I was trying, because I was like, how does this mechanic work? Because I feel like I can never do more than 2, and it's just like an instant death on the second one every time. So I was trying to figure out what the mechanic was. I was like, is there like a puzzle to it? It's just a percentage. But even still, yeah, that little ringworm trick or killing the villagers trick is a thing of beauty. Other than,
I didn't know that.
Leshy stops you in Casey's mod after, like you said, 2.
Yeah, Leshy's like, nah, we're not doing that.
Just kidding.
I
That's-
love it. The first time you always run into one of those things, he's always like, I'm going to take that away from you. And you're just like, I hate you so much. Why? This is so hard already.
That's what I love about this game too. Is like there's a lot of the cards are very basic. Like there's sigils on them that kind of say like a description, like, oh, this card has flying defense. This one has death touch. You know, it kills a creature in one hit. This card can hit multiple creatures. But a lot of cards you get, the guy gives you a hint of like, oh, this card looks crappy, but maybe there's a special use for it. So there are a lot of cards in this game that are supposed to be used in an unorthodox kind of way. Like maybe you're supposed to combine it with another creature, as we're talking about with the ringworm. Like maybe you're supposed to do it with like the mini game on one of the paths you go. It's super awesome.
I don't know if, because I guess you probably don't have any of the extra decks in Casey's mod, because I think Keith said he's only done the first level.
Okay, I was going to ask. I thought
Yeah.
I saw an achievement saying you unlock other decks for it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Oh,
other
okay.
decks, and it does get. It's kind of like Balatro, where the first deck is serviceable, but like not the best. And there is like I think the third deck in Balatro and in Inscryption where you start with a Mantis God and two Ringworms. And it is
sweet.
like, oh, this is going to carry me. And it will carry you for a while, but once you get to like that last hurdle, it is an extremely tough deck to like to polish the game off with. You have to like come up with a different strategy. I'm just gonna say, and also what's cool about the Casey's mod is it unlocks new cards. So you will see cards that are exclusive to Casey's mod, like the it's like Blood Wolves and stuff like that. And there are, I don't know, like I can't remember off the top of my head, but there are a lot of like really cool.
Okay,
There are
so
a lot of
that's
really cool
interesting.
cards.
Because yeah, I mean, I like that's kind of what I've been playing through when because this is a game even since I bought it. Like I'll just pick up from time to time. I'm like, I don't want to play. At least I'll probably lose, but I'm just gonna try a couple runs of Inscryption just to kind of brace between games or figure out what I want to play next. So it's always got that for me. And
Yeah.
but yeah, it's interesting. That's an interesting way to do it though, because like it actively gets harder. Because not to go down a Balatro road, but it's like all those decks they're pretty evenly matched. It's not like I don't have to play. I guess to a certain degree you do, because you have to play up to like the 8th stake to fully unlock every deck, or to a gold stake. But I don't know. I guess I just feel like it's at least it unlocks more of it. But I'm not against it. It's just it's interesting, like the different ways that they give you that two games kind of do it differently.
Yeah, I guess you could easily say Casey's mod has got it going on.
Yes. That's all I want. The oh man, I'm just looking at these cards, and there's a lot of like really goofy shenanigans that you can get into with some of these new ones. Like there is the wild bull, and then there are new
Oh, yeah.
deers. Like the tadpole is kind of interesting too. Like there are a lot of like awesome, because the tadpole is like a resource, like the bees from the thing, but you just get to play it. There's so many different like strategies that you can go with.
So is the long elk one that you can only get in Casey's mod then? Because that's another one I just remembered. That's the only other one I saw listed that you can feed to the villagers to kill them off.
No, long elk is a rare card.
Okay, yeah, it definitely looked different, but I didn't know if it was exclusive to the Casey's mod, and I'm guessing it probably takes further than. As I said, I think I have to play with 3 skulls on to get to the next level. Like that's the max I can do right now.
Yeah, eventually, because you don't have that many skulls unlocked at the beginning, eventually you'll be able to start mixing and matching skulls, and some skulls are way harder than some other ones. So it's like you'll learn to like get. Sometimes you'll run with you could run with 3 skulls and get the requirement points, or you could run with like 6 skulls that are way lower of a cost and aren't nearly as bad.
Yeah, because
eventually you just get used to it.
Right now I'm using, I think it's I don't start with a hook. Is it less rare cards? Oh no, the pelts cost more, and I think capping my pack to 2 items, which I don't know if those are three hard ones to start with or not, but those are the 3 I chose. Because
I
I
would
hate the
stick with
totem
the hook.
battles.
I would take the hook. The
Okay.
totem battles is necessary. You just got to get used to, because that one is like 10 points, right? To get you, because that one's a higher points, I think.
Do you get more? Like, do you get something from winning the totem battles though?
No,
No.
it's just a lot harder. But
Okay.
eventually it's not as big of a deal. Like it's hard because now I from the point of I've beaten it. Like the hardest skull is one of the last ones, and it's called the bear wall. And every boss fight, the second round, instead of the other thing that the boss does, it is just full of bears, and that will
What?
instantly kill you if you don't set up. And so it literally changes how you play the game. Like you can't play the game the same whenever you unlock that skull.
God.
It's so warping. It's like the hardest thing to learn to get through.
Man, all right, this will be at least one negative I kind of have with Inscryption, because I'm sure a lot of people who are playing this or listen to this haven't played the game, have no idea what we're talking about. And I will say, this, as simple as a card game as it is, it's been 5 months or so since I last played this game. And as soon as I booted up, I was like, I knew the basic idea. Like I knew how to play that. I had to summon creatures, attack the guy, but everything else, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like I forgot about the totems that you guys are talking about, and I forgot like how they worked. But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you get a beast head, and then all the beasts of that head get a special ability. Like, and then there's like the same with the items, and then the sigils that the creatures had. So that's one thing I think kind of stinks about Inscryption is like if you put this game down, you can get lost pretty easily. I will say so essentially made me lose like 2 or 3 runs, but then I was kind of like, okay, I remember this thing, and it started to come back to me. But I don't know. To me, like this is one of those roguelikes that I feel like if I put down, I can't be like, oh, I'm just gonna play 2 runs in a couple months and remember everything.
I mean, I guess 2 runs is probably a very simplification of it, because even still, like if you're not winning one of these runs, that like you can get to the first boss within probably 5 minutes minimum, probably 5 to 10 minutes, and so you're either going to lose quickly. I still don't think a full run's going to take probably more than, I mean, you'd be able to tell better, Nave, I guess, but I would say what, like 45 minutes to an hour, like on a full run if you actually make it.
Yeah, I maybe like 30 minutes, especially once like you're really getting into the weeds of the game, because you get to a point where you start just like understand, you can like just see where things are, you just start playing faster and more efficiently, like by muscle memory. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Also, you can learn when you're gonna lose. Like it's so obvious by the first boss when you're fighting the bear wall if you're gonna be able to beat the bear wall or not. And so sometimes I get halfway, the moment I can see the boss at the top, I'm like, I don't have enough, I need like 2 things on the checklist still, and I don't see the merger guy or the guy who hand motions. There's the card that lets you sacrifice a card that has that has a sigil on it and put it on another card, even if the card has a sigil. And that is like the most important thing in the whole game. Like that one thing.
How many sigils can you stack on one card? Is there a limit?
You can only have, I think the limit technically is 5, but like that's a very special case because you can only put sigils on a card that hasn't had a sigil sacrificed onto it. So if a card has 3 abilities on it, and or I don't know if there's a card with 3 abilities, but if a card has 2 abilities and you sacrifice another card with 2 abilities, it'll have 4 abilities. But if you have a card with no abilities and you put 1 ability on it, you won't be able to put any more abilities on that one card.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't remember if that's exclusively a Casey's mod thing to stop people from breaking shit or not. So I don't know if that's the case in the first playthrough through the story, but yeah, that's how it works in Casey's mod. At least.
I mean, it would almost make sense in both cases, honestly, because even in the story, like the context of the story line, like not to go fully back to it, but it's all about sacrifice and give and take. It's like from the very start, it's you have to kill your own cards to play more cards or better cards, and like that's the whole heart of the gameplay. So it would make sense even too that they were like, hey, no, you have to roll these deaths of these cards one into the next if you want to max them out. You have to sacrifice minimum 2 or 3 cards, if not more.
Yeah, and then you have to build your whole like philosophy in the deck around it. Like I think that's the best part of the game is how many different there's like 5 or 6 different like immediate archetypes, and then you can do so much within those archetypes. Like you can go
Yeah.
bugs, or you can go deer, or you can go reptiles with bones that have things that you can sacrifice to make more bone. It's like there's so many different little goofy things that you can do.
Yeah, I found it hard, and I think Andrew's kind of saying this is a game I was finding it hard to like manipulate my deck right, especially when it was coming to Casey's mod, and it's like most of the time I was by the first boss I was like, oh, I'm just gonna get stomped here, especially if I saw the fisherman, that guy every time, because I think that's the closest to like the bear wall in the real game that you can come is if you have
Yeah.
4 enemies out when he goes into his second round is 4 sharks, and so you're just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, the good thing about that is the barrel wall makes those sharks go away, but also the bad thing is that the fisherman you just
I
gotta
prefer
learn
the sharks, don't get me wrong, to the bear wall. I don't ever want to experience the bear wall.
The good thing about the fisherman is that if you can get one really, really strong card and just one shot him really fast, sometimes, especially if you're doing mantis stuff, the mantis is the strongest thing against the fisherman because usually he puts the chum buckets in front of your guy. So if you have one guy who's really strong and it's a mantis or it has the mantis sigil on it, it'll strike around the chum bucket and won't hit the chum bucket in the front. So the shark will never spawn, but he will start spawning more sharks.
Okay, that makes sense then.
But I disagree with you, Keith. I said earlier, I find it easier to build your decks in this game than other roguelikes.
Oh, so maybe
because you said harder.
See, I think it's a little bit harder. Like and maybe it's just a case of, again, like recency syndrome, and I've been nose deep in Balatro just because I'm determined. It's almost, this is like my new potatoes. I'm determined to beat all the decks, all the stakes. I will do it.
God.
But I find it like, I don't know, there's just so many more opportunities to like really play what I'm going for. And you can play, I think it's a game that plays a little bit more open-ended too. It's a completely different game. It's the only thing that's similar is that it's cards and it's a roguelike, and that's about where the similarities end of these games. But otherwise, I don't know. I found I wasn't, and maybe it's just because like I couldn't visualize, because again, they're different gameplay, so my mindset's in a little bit of a different place, but like I couldn't visualize like exactly how I'm trying to outsmart the game. I was just like, I don't know, I'm gonna level up my wolf a bunch and just try to live by my wolf.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot less viability in Inscryption card. Like it is so much easier to fail in Inscryption than it is in Balatro. Like, because you can hobble something together in Balatro probably make it pretty far, and in this game, the first boss will slap you down harder than what's his name at the Oscars? Old dated reference.
Will Smith.
Will Smith slapping Chris Mann. I forget his name.
Chris Rock.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
What did you call him? Chris Mann.
Yeah. Damn.
I like that.
Old.
Man. But I love this art style. So this is the other thing that's super cool about Inscryption. The art style, not only is like everything changing, but the art style in this game changes. And it's like, and it goes through these awesome phases. Especially too, it works. There's even at one point where it's kind of like a Yu-Gi-Oh reference at the end. And I was like, so that's kind of why I did the intro there. But I love the art style of this game. It's a very beautiful game.
There are a lot of references in this game, actually.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure which game came first, and I don't even know if it's a reference to each other, but the Leshy character, there is a Leshy character in Cult of the Lamb. It's one of the bosses that you fight. And it's very similar-ish to this Leshy. And I think that they're both pulling from the same source material, or one is a direct reference to the other. I'm not sure.
Inscryption came out 2021.
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb. That's what I was just thinking, 2022. So I bet it's a call out to, because that's a very indie roguelike thing to do.
And they're both Developer published.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That makes even
Dev-
more sense then.
I think I said that with Devolver. I think I said
You said
that weird
Devolver, yeah.
Yeah, Devolver. So yeah, Devolver games always actually do references to each other.
Yeah, that makes sense
Because
then. I did
another
not
one,
put that together.
a one we did recently, another Crab's Treasure. I'm pretty sure that was Devolver. They referenced other Devolver games as well.
Another Treasure, really?
You're gonna make me second guess myself. I'm like 90% sure
I don't think they
another
did.
Crab's Treasure is Devolver.
I'm not.
Nope, I lied. Aggro Crab, I guess, they were self-published,
Okay.
but I know they had references to it. Anywho,
But yeah, it just overall.
Yeah, I'm looking at a list of references. There's a million of them. There's all kinds of things going on in this game. This game is just, it's a love letter to a lot of things. Yeah.
yeah, that's what makes it so meta.
So meta. But no, I mean it's a game where it's like graphically there's nothing stand out and like wow, it's so perfectly fitting at all times, and it's all about like going back to Nave, you use the word aesthetic, and like this game it's not just the graphics that are the graphics in front of you, it's not just the music, it's everything rolled up into a ball, and so the graphics just fit to tell the story, and it's not too graphic that you're like, oh, this game is gory and nasty, but it's just graphic enough that you're like, ooh, that's uncomfortable, I know exactly what's happening right now. And
It's graphic enough to be M.
well, I guess there's that. But yeah, but it's, you know what I mean though, it's not like what was that hell game we played? It was the puzzle
Hellblade?
one. No, the puzzle one. It's not the hell game, but everything was gloopy and glorpy.
Scorn?
Yeah, there we go.
Was that?
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe I pulled that out because I'm like, what are you talking about?
That was good. No, that was good.
I was
Because
thinking of,
gloopy
like-
and gloppy. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, I was thinking, what is that game with the Rick and Morty gun? That's what gloopy and that's what that brought to mind. What is it called?
Crap, what was that called? That just got off Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay. Someone knows.
Yeah, no, this is gonna irritate me now. What the heck was that called? But yeah,
but otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It was all perfectly fitting.
Yeah, I really do love it, and I think that I don't remember.
High on Life. There it is.
High on Life. That's it. I do
For the
remember
people
one of
yelling
you
at
guys brought up this tension. You brought up No Country for Old Men, and
Yeah.
I wanted to mention right from the beginning of the game, you have the ability to just get up and walk away from the table and walk around this little cabin, and there are a bunch of like little puzzles to solve that progress the story. And the first thing you're gonna see whenever you get up and turn to walk off is the door.
Yeah.
And you're gonna go try and open that door, and you can't. And I think he even says something about it. And so it's like there is this like the scene in the gas station where he's flipping the coin to the gas guy, and you just have no idea what you're in for right now, like what sort of trouble you're in. And I don't know, like everything about this game just speaks to me on like a spiritual level. This is like my favorite type of like creepy, but like you don't know what's going on, but you learn a little bit, but you never learn too much, so it's always like this ethereal thing that's happening. I don't know, so good.
And I hope people are interested in this game and haven't played it yet. I hope you haven't been listening this long, because I hope we not like. I don't want to spoil things. As Dave said at the beginning, like this is best done just going in. But yeah, look at this game, Wikipedia. It got nominated a bunch of awards, but it's kind of sad. I feel like it should have won so much more. Because that's the thing too. The other thing that's so good, as you guys are talking about, is the audio. I highly recommend that you wear headphones with this game. The music in this game, it just adds to the tone. Oh man, when you go against is it the angler? It's either the angler or the Skinner. But the music gets like super low. There's like chanting in the background.
Yes, the Skinner.
Oh my gosh. I love that when it just changes to that. And knives are kind of floating in the air.
Yep. I ran up against the Skinner a handful of times last night.
This game just so good with atmosphere, with its graphics and its audio. So I highly recommend doing it with the audio, with it just good headphones on. Because I mean, a lot of the times, I don't think there's a lot of music playing on. There's a lot of sound effects, like hearing the teeth drop onto the scale is just a really iconic kind of sound.
Yeah, that and like so whenever you have to do 5 damage on you have to tip the scale by 5 damage, and
Yeah.
anything overflowing you get to keep, and he puts it in this wooden bowl for you, and it immediately evokes like Magic the Gathering or like even like Yahtzee or anything like that. Like that sound is like a liminal sound, but
Yeah.
also it's like nostalgic at the same time. Like it feels good hearing that. You're like, oh yes, I did it every time I hear it. And if you hit them like for like 15 extra damage, you just hear into the thing. And it's kind of like Balatro a little bit.
Yes.
Even though Balatro is like a slot machine, this game is like the family at Thanksgiving dinner that just argued over politics, but now you have to play a board game with them. That's kind of what it feels like winning extra teeth. If that makes sense.
To do that? Well, because as soon as you get to any real point where it's like mathematically you're going to win because he's not playing any more cards, he's just like, oh, I concede, and you're like,
No, I'm gonna kill you.
Here's the thing, Leshy. I've died 5 times in a row. I'm not willing to let you off that easy. We're taking all the teeth.
Yeah, in fact, hold on. Let me play a few more turns and like make some real damage.
See, I feel like people who haven't experienced this game probably has no idea what you're talking about, Nave. But like your description of it was like so spot on. Like, just it does have that weird nostalgia feel of like the teeth hitting the wooden bowl. It just resonates of like playing games with people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please play this game. Please. And if you're listening this far and you have played the game, grab someone by their shoulders and twist their shirt up, wind it up in your fists, and you look them in the eyes and you say, Nave told me to tell you. You know Nave, right? He said. You specifically, by name. He pointed at your name from a list of names. You got to play Inscryption.
But
especially now that it's on Game Pass, like that's why that was like another reason that I was like, I think we have to do this now. Like it's on Game Pass. It's what we do. We talk about Game Pass. It is. There's no reason not to at least give it a try, because if you like roguelikes and you like deck builders, you're gonna like this game. If you like meta storylines, you're gonna like this game. If you like just good storylines, you're gonna like this game. There's
if you like boobs, they're not in this game, but you'll still probably like this game.
You can name a card boobs, and then it is in the game.
I'm pretty
or
sure
you can even can you do signs? Because then you could just do the parentheses make your boobs.
I think you can. Now I have to try.
Yeah, it's like you're playing RuneScape.
Yeah, exactly. So then there you go. There's something for everybody in this game.
And
the achievements are actually pretty good because a lot of times with roguelikes, it's like, no, you have to beat this game. And I guess, well, Nave, you did go through Casey's mod well over 100 times, but it's like you have to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rooms. You have to play 60 hours. Inscryption doesn't do that. I mean, again, I don't know how long the full Casey's mod run is going to take you but at least playing through the main game and feeling like you've gotten everything out of the storyline base of the game is all very, very much there for you. And you don't have to play for hundreds of hours. And doing that gets you close to like 500 achievement points, which I think is pretty reasonable for like a roguelike or like this genre of games.
Yeah, I think besides beating Casey's mod with all the skulls on, which I had it pulled up. What is the percentage? Only point.
It was like
0.3%,
0.68, I think, or something like that. I was trying to look it up on True Achievement right now.
Yeah, it's 1.5 for people who are on True Achievements and 0.3 for all of Xbox.
That's crazy.
It's not necessary. You don't have to do it. It's stressful. I could explain how to do it. It would take away the fun of learning, the joy of experience, but I could tell you how to break the game.
Are you actually going to sit there and say the fun and enjoyment you're talking about? How you're afraid your girlfriend would break up with you?
The question I had, though, because you were like talking about like playing with a checklist, and like to a certain degree, I feel like sometimes I'm playing Balatro and I feel like, all right, I'm just looking for a checklist of certain things, but you can, as you said, as long as you're not trying to go into some endless streak, you can pretty much hobble your way through any run. it sounds like with Inscryption, it's like, no, if I don't get basically this exact order, I'm not going to be able to get it. And
Yeah,
that's
it's like I
like,
need.
does that take away from the fun of it? Basically, having to go through and not really think about what you're doing. And I want to say not like you're not putting some thought into it, but at the same time, like you're kind of just going through a list. And like if it doesn't hit or it does hit, like I feel like that would be more frustrating to me. But I also don't think I could ever beat through all of Casey's mod.
I think
I know
I
I
don't
couldn't.
know. I think it's like the adrenaline rush of you because you have to make a conscious stream of consistently good choices
Okay.
along the path of because you have this. It's like I need a creature that can one shot them. I probably need two. I need a way to search them. I need resource gathering. I also need a way. I also need to kill all the bad cards in my deck right now as soon as possible. So you have to like weigh this a scale, but it's like the scale of like which one is more important at this time. I don't know how many more campfires I'm going to go to, so it's probably not worth doing the sacrifice right now. I really need my Mantis God to have more power. You get to the campfire and it's toughness, so it's like, okay, hold on. Well, I could probably put the ringworm in there, and if it dies, then that's future proofing my Mantis God. But also, it's like there's the world's your oyster, so you know what you need, and then by the time you get to a point, you kind of like reflect, like, can I beat this first boss? It looks like it's the fisherman. I don't have the ability to get around the shark because I don't have, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah, so it's you have like a checklist. It's not like, all right, by this exact level I need this and this. It's not you're like, and you're not necessarily looking for an exact set. It's you can be flexible even within how you kind
yeah,
of build that out, I guess is what it sounds like. And then that I said I wasn't trying to say it wouldn't be fun because I mean beating anything on like that level of something, I'm like, oh, that's just there's some good feeling about it. But I get frustrated sometimes, like again going back to Balatro of like I don't know, I didn't get the Joker I needed, reset. Didn't get the Joker I needed, reset. And I go through that like countless
yeah.
times
There's
again.
plenty of that in Balatro. Well, that's the thing, because that's what I'm saying about Balatro as well. And I think Slay the Spire, where I don't know how much it is because I haven't done a ton of Slay the Spire, but the point at which you're like, this isn't going to work is so much more, it's so much more time in for Balatro and Slay the Spire than
Yeah.
it is in Inscryption. Whereas Inscryption, you're like 4 minutes in the run, and I'm like, I have like 3 things missing. And this is a nightmare run, so I'm just gonna restart right now. Like, another thing too, I don't know if you've noticed this, but you can't restart on Casey's mod, or he'll
Yeah.
take away one of your things that you
I
get.
did notice that. It goes the
Yeah.
player.
You
the
just
player
have to
before
let
you quit
yourself
too
die.
early.
Yeah, don't ever do that. Like, he
Oh,
resents
okay.
you, like in Animal Crossing. Don't ever do that.
See, I didn't know.
And he'll do it again. If you reset again, he'll take away both of your cards. It's like, you suck. I hate you.
See, I didn't know when he first said that. Like, I thought he just said, "Oh, you didn't get very far." So I think it's just because it's like, "Oh, you sucked so bad your last round that I'm taking it away." I didn't realize it was because I quit so early. I didn't realize, like, gosh, this game is too meta sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
well,
frustrating.
there was this one run where I thought I was going to beat it, and I hadn't. This wasn't my all skulls, but I think it was either the second to last or the third to last. So, like, I was really close to the end, and I was trying for like days playing this game, and like, I finally got the one run, and I made it to the end, and I was gonna record the podcast. I have a problem where I'm always late to the podcast, and Philip, it gets progressively
Sounds like
angrier
Keith.
at me. Well, it's always one of you. One of the podcast players is punctual, and the other one's usually not. But you got the yin and the yang. Well, I was like, I made the conscious decision to be like, I'm gonna not be late to the podcast. In fact, I'm gonna be like 10 minutes early, and I'm gonna work on the notes, and I'm gonna be a good boy. And I went to close the game out. For some reason, I was like, I'm gonna quit to the main menus, and then I'm gonna turn the Xbox off. And then I ended the run instead of quitting to the main menu. And this was the miracle run, the 1 in 30 runs that I was making it to the end. And I spent that whole episode pissed off and angry at him, at Philip.
Do you remember what episode it
it's
was?
his fault.
I think that was actually the one right before we were on, because I remember that was the one you were I remember listening to you talk about Inscryption, and I was like, oh, That sounds so painful. I think I understand why I'd like this game now. Because if I recall too, I think you even said he was late to the episode too. I could be
Oh,
wrong.
right.
And
Was it the Modern Warfare one, or was it the Exoprimal?
it was before the Exoprimal one. So you guys were talking about what game was it? Oh shit, I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But either way,
didn't
yeah,
pull
I
up the
remember you
list.
talking about that run. I was like, oh, that's something I would have done to Andrew. And then it would have been vice versa. Like the one time I'd be like, I'm going to be 10 minutes early. Andrew would be like,
That's awful.
actually, I got a flat tire, and I'm going
But as far as achievements go, though, I would. So there's a lot of secret achievements. I would recommend that you don't reveal them. There isn't anything too spoilery because there is kind of like kill this person, but still, if you just don't know anything about this game, as far as I could, there's not a lot of missable achievements. At least the secret ones aren't really missable. So I would recommend not revealing any of the secret achievements if you are an achievement hunter. Just play the game, enjoy it.
Actually, a lot of the secret achievements are missable.
Yeah, actually, now that I'm looking through it, I'm like, they actually. But still, I wouldn't risk it.
It's very much a game where it's like explore every nook and cranny. Because for the most part, if something is clickable, I don't think there's anything that it's like, oh, you have to look a weird way. Everything is very 90 degrees. Like you turn 90 degrees left and right. It's almost like you're walking on blocks in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And it's like the button's right there. So just click on everything, try to do everything. If something looks like it can be opened, just keep trying to figure out how to open it. I think I did look up one, maybe two puzzles. I think it was like the card puzzle on the wall.
But anyways,
yeah, one of them is hard. I don't think at the beginning, because you have to do that twice, and then like the second iteration of it is like way harder. Like it's like I don't know if I had to look it up either. I probably just guessed because I think if it's something like that, I would rather just beat my head against the wall for like 20 minutes, just guessing every single iteration until it unlocks itself.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that one. That's how I beat that one. I was like, I don't know, I'm just going to click around until I figure this one out. But no, it was the one of actually like with the cards you could see like in a picture frame. It was actually like super simple, but it took me. I like couldn't figure out what it wanted me to do for some reason. So I think I actually looked that one up. But overall, it really is just like, just click on everything, explore everything you can. And in that sense, I would say nothing's really missable if you really kind of just look over everything in front of you. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know. It's all about discovery. That's what's so much fun. But I don't know. Again, it doesn't do that to you and go, okay, well, here's 150 achievement. It's actually like close to 500. I think I have like 480 in total right now. And I don't know if that includes anything Casey's mod. I don't know if I got Casey's mod stuff.
For the people who still aren't convinced somehow, I'm looking because Andrew brought up like the nominations and awards at one. I was like, I wonder too, and so I went and looked it up. And in the 25th annual DICE Awards, they were nominated for Game of the Year, Strategy Sim Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Independent Game, and Game Design, and Game Direction, and Story. They were nominated for all of those.
Yeah,
this game, don't sleep on it. Don't.
just don't do it.
But
yeah, like a full-on PSA video by name.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean that's why I'm glad that we're kind of doing this because when we first did this for our Patreon, I'm like, man, only like a handful of people are going to hear this. It's like, but now the people need to know about this game. But yeah, let's get into our final thoughts here. I'll start off, I guess. Inscryption, as you've been hearing, love this game. It's like I said, a must play. Even if you aren't a huge deck builder kind of game, just to play the base game and the story, it's an experience. It's a very unique story, unique gameplay. It doesn't require you to have to get a degree in this game. I find the gameplay mechanics are very simple, and especially to kind of once you finish the first hurdle, the game to me was much easier. But this is super fun. You're looking, like I said, like 12 and a half hours to do the main story. If you at least just do that, you don't have to do the Casey's mod. You don't have to do the challenge mode if you don't want to. But just to experience the base game alone is well worth your time. It is a trip. It is great. There's very little things I could complain about this game. Multiplayer would be kind of cool, but that's kind of about it. To me, this is easy like a 92.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not like I got convinced to like this more than I did as we started talking about, but I think like I don't know. The more I think about it, the main storyline is almost just like a tutorial for Inscryption. It's like, and it
For
put and it
Casey's mod, you mean?
well, I mean, yeah, but essentially for like in terms of at least a roguelike aspect, like the roguelike elements are absolutely there throughout the game, because we talk about that a lot, Andrew, in games that
Yeah.
may or may not have them like Sifu. But
Seafood's roguelike.
it's not roguelike. But anyway, just we're not talking about that game. What I'm talking about is like those elements are all there throughout the storyline, but the storyline is really just the building blocks of the game. And then if you really want to turn Inscryption does turn into that kind of grindy roguelike. Maybe it's not all meta progression in terms of adding benefits, but it's these skulls and challenge modes and just from like I don't know, just really learning every aspect of the cards and how to build them. Like Nave was talking about, like you just know what you need to do. Like, and the first part's just an experience that just kind of wraps all of that gameplay up into a bundle. A lot of roguelikes, I don't know, they just cram you right from the get-go of like, nope, this is just always going to be a grindy mess, and you're going to have fun, and you're going to do it, and you're going to beat your head against the wall. But that's where Inscryption gives something, I think, for everybody with the ultimate storyline, everything, the packages that it's wrapped up into, and it's a ton of fun to play. It's definitely a game. You're going to hear that from me too. And 93, yeah, just a one up, Andrew. I'm gonna say 93.
Yeah, I absolutely love this game, and I just genuinely want to spread the love. Whenever I was sitting here editing miserable, and then Keith sent me a Discord message, and he's like, "Hey, you want to talk about a game?" And as I was reading it, I was like, I don't know. And then I read Inscryption episode, and I was like, oh, come on. All right. Well,
yeah.
I gotta talk about Inscryption. Episode be damned. It'll just be late, probably. I don't know. But I really, really love. I'm just joking. I'll come on for any game, even if I don't know what the game is. I'll talk about whatever.
Just talk about nothing.
Even if I haven't played the game, I'll still come on
again.
Yeah, I'll just talk about whatever I'm playing every time it comes back to me. I just want everyone to experience this, and it is, and it's all of its glory, and it's never been more accessible. It's on Game Pass. It's a cheap game in general. I'm glad to hear Andrew and Keith both bought it. I also bought it. I bought the game for one other friend that played it on Steam. It's like, this is one of those games that just needs to get shared around by word of mouth, and it's a success story for sure. So I'm looking forward to whatever these guys come out with next.
Well, I also feel like we need to bring up, I mean, last time we had you on Nave, you talked about buying physical stuff. Did you see that you can buy the cards in this game?
Yeah.
They actually sell card packs on Devolver's website.
It's so cool. Devolver is on top of the game for merch. I have this here. I don't know if I've shown you guys this, but this Call to the Lamb vinyl.
Yeah, you showed us that last time.
Yeah, I'm always pulling it out. I always got to talk about it. But Devolver's on it, man. And
why don't you play it for us, Dave? Come on.
I'll get a wire and I'll scratch it and open my mouth, and the music will play through my mouth.
Here we go, guys. I'm gonna play. You just completely shred it.
Yeah. Destroy
yeah, I love these cards. They're super cool looking. Like, they don't look like they do in the game. Like, they look more like Magic the Gathering art style, but they're way more detailed. But I've seen people like have a poster laminate of like all of the cards
like a
that
sheet
you can kind of buy.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if Devolver actually has it on their website, but it doesn't look like it's done by Devolver. I saw it on at least Etsy, but come on, I want official artwork. But yeah.
Also,
cool.
if you're gonna play this game and you heard us talk about Casey's mod a lot at this point, remember that name when you're playing the game. Like, when you play it the first time, you have no idea who Casey is. Just another name amongst a lot of names that you see. But it comes up in the game quite a bit.
Oh, man. Inscryption as a vinyl. This thing is sweet looking.
Oh, I gotta go look at it now. Hold on.
Oh, it's purple and black.
What?
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah, of course it is. Damn it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, wow. Look at it.
That is cool. Man, Devolver, making awesome merch.
This is crazy. It's a triple vinyl. What?
Nah, man, no, we did this last time. We're not going on like looking up merch. This one is so sweet.
Oh, look at the Cult of the Lamb, the new vinyl. They have a new one out for the new songs that have come out.
Let's wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining us. Nave, why don't you start? Nave, thank you again for joining us. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Well, I'm one half of Gaming Together Cooperative Podcast. My co-host Philip just came back this week.
Oh, nice.
He was on a cross-country trip from Texas to Alaska, driving within a U-Haul. So that took a while.
That must have been a nightmare.
I bet. Well, I mean, actually, it looked amazing. He just kept posting pictures, and I've never been outside of Oklahoma, really, so I'm just, like, looking at mountains for the first time. Like, wow, that's crazy. It's really white out there. But we talk about cooperative video games, except when we don't. Like this episode that'll be out by the time this episode comes out, for Balatro, which is a good companion for this game, for this game's episode. So go check that out. We also are on Twitter at Game Together Pod, and we have a YouTube where we kind of put shorts up and stuff. Our Instagram is also that. You get to see our thumbnail art early. Our thumbnail art I put a lot of effort into, so yeah. I love sharing that with everybody and seeing their reactions. It's good stuff.
Yeah. And then we've of course been Game Pass Grab Bag. You can find us at GamePassGrabBag.com. You'll find our Discord link and our Twitter and whatnot, our YouTube, links to Patreon, and everything. Me and Keith have been real slacking on our Patreon.
Sorry.
All right, Keith.
It's hard. We have been too. Like our stuff's supposed to come out early, and I just get tired. I get tired of editing.
I know. I just appreciate the choir. I feel so bad. But thank you also who have been supporting us. You've really been helping us keep going. Upgrading our stuff and getting better. Kind of getting better. Yeah, come join our Discord.
Yeah, our Discord is cool. People are cool there. I've been Keith.
I just start playing music, Keith. You can
find me there on Discord. I'm in there. Bye.
That's all you got.
Do I ever have more?
That's true. All right, everyone. Love you all. We'll see you next week.
Bye.